Hey everyone, welcome back to Beekeeping Like a Girl, or welcome to if you are new. I'm Natalie, and today I am joined with Bob Binnie, who is a commercial beekeeper, and he's a really cool guy, and you should definitely check out his YouTube channel. I'll leave the link right here. I think it's right here. If you want to check out his channel, and I'll also probably put it in the comments section. We're doing a video on his channel also if you want to check that out. So I guess I'll just ask you a couple questions. We'll start off with the question that you probably heard a lot, but how did you get into beekeeping?
I read a book. Honestly, I read a book, and I can even remember the first book. It was called How to Keep Bees and Sell Honey by Walter T. Kelly. It was a book published in 1955. Of course, I didn't get my hands on it till about 1975, but that book really got me interested in beekeeping, and it was several years after that before I was able to actually get involved in beekeeping. But that book and a series of a couple more, and I was hooked. I knew I wanted to do it.
Do you think that you've reached your goal that you wanted to, or?
I've reached beyond my goal. I never thought I would be quite as successful as I am, and I just have to say I'm blessed, lucky. You can choose either word. I think both come into play there. Been very blessed. I've been. I'm a firm believer that if you really want something and you think about it a lot, creative imagination, you imagine it a lot, that somehow life or the universe will provide it for you. And in my case, that's exactly what happened. Everything just came to me.
And how many years have you been beekeeping?
I started in 1981 in Southern Oregon. Met an old man there that had been a commercial beekeeper. He was born in 1911. I can still remember the year he told me he was born, and he had been a commercial beekeeper for most of his life, and he ran up to 2,000 colonies with just one helper in the Rogue Valley in Southern Oregon. And when I met him, he was just selling bee supplies. He'd completely retired from beekeeping, and I purchased 8 colonies and found out about him selling supplies, and went to buy some simple things like smokers and nuke boxes and stuff. And from the very first meeting, he kind of took me under his wing, and without him, he was magic for me. Without him, I never would have been able to do what I've done. And his name was Delmer Smith, Central Point, Oregon. And he, later that year, he introduced me to a large commercial beekeeper friend of his that needed help. And he got me that job, and that was the second step in my successful journey towards commercial beekeeping. That man's name was Glenn Sackett. He also lived in Central Point, Oregon. I was living in Rogue River at the time, and between the two of those people, I learned so much in the first year, and I was well on my way. I never expected it to go that fast, and back to your original question, I never expected to be as successful as I am today. I have a large business with usually around 20 employees. They're not all beekeepers, but some of them are honey processing people, and we have the retail store, that. And we have 4 girls in the retail store and guys in the warehouse. I never expected to be an employer of 20 people. And even now, I don't feel like I'm the boss. Part of me wants to be their friend, and that's tricky in business. It's hard to be the friend to your employees but still be their boss, but somehow I'm kind of pulling it off. I think the people that work for me feel like I'm their friend also, not just their employer, and that's been tricky to pull off. I think I've done it.
Yeah.
Um,
All right, so one question I was going to ask you is, have you run into very many people, I guess, my age? And I don't like to, it's not like I'm trying to brag about me being younger, because I don't think I never really thought of it as it's super cool that I started at a young age, but a lot of people told me that it's really good and it could be really good for my future. But I was just wondering what you think about younger people being in beekeeping.
well, right off the bat, you're very unique. I mean, obviously, there are very few people that are as passionate and as deeply involved in bees as you are at your age, and that's kind of why I wanted to come visit you. I was nosy. I wanted to see more. So very unique. Honestly, I can't think. I knew of one other guy, a boy, he's now a commercial beekeeper in North Florida, and his dad helped finance him and get him started. He started at an extremely young age, like you did, And I think they're probably 2,000 colonies now. So see, that could be in your future, Natalie. You could have 2,000 colonies if you keep after this. So very unique. That's all I can think of. Very surprising. And does it make you special? No, it just makes you different. Makes you a little different.
Yeah.
So you've got two older sisters, but they're not interested like you are.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually really ever mentioned them. But yeah, they're just not as interested in it as me. But that's okay. I mean, it's not like I need to push it or anything on them. I think they just have other interests,
Okay.
like especially because they're older and both of them have a job, so they have that to focus on. And like you said, I guess I'm just different, and this is what I enjoy doing, and I just don't enjoy it as much. They still help out every now and then with extracting sometimes, or they help with telling people about it.
Because this is so unique. I mean, this is physical labor. I mean, you get out here and sweat and you get dirty and get stung. And I don't know of any other 13-year-old girls that are willing to do what you're doing.
I guess I just started from a really young age. I always followed my dad around and did what he was doing. And so since he started getting into beekeeping, I was there when he started it. And I don't regret it or anything. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I can see that. You're very passionate. I'm just impressed. Very impressed.
Thank you. How do you think we should get younger people involved?
That's a really tough question to answer. I'm not sure what I can come up with. I think it's just a matter of putting it out there in front of them, and they can choose to be interested in it or not. You really can't do much more than that. Just like you became interested by following your dad around, and he was the one who started with a couple of colonies. I think you just got to present them with it. You could talk to groups of young people at 4-H meetings and agriculture classes at your school. Well, you're not in school. I can't say that.
Yeah.
You're homeschooled.
Yes.
Are there any groups that you attend in the community, 4-H or anything
There
like that?
used to be, but then kind of stopped doing that. But one thing I've tried to do is on my YouTube channel, I've asked younger beekeepers to send a photo, and then I put it at the end of my videos, just trying to get more younger people out there. But
Do you get many photos?
yeah, I have a couple videos out there on it, but it's definitely harder because it's definitely like a personal or a more of your decision if you want to do it or not, and you don't want to push it on those younger people. But
Yeah, beekeeping is certainly something that you cannot push on people. They've either got to be interested or not.
yeah,
For instance, my children, I have three children, and of course they were involved with me all along my growth phase. I provided them with jobs and paid them a salary or an hourly wage to help me, and none of them are interested in the beekeeping at all.
yeah,
And but then many commercial beekeeping outfits are second generation, and the kids that helped, in the business early on chose to stay involved or to come back later after college and get involved. Beekeeping is such a quirky thing. I think it just comes down to the people just either got to be interested or not. I don't think you can make them be interested at all. Yeah.
yeah,
I often get asked what's the most important thing, if you're going to be successful with beekeeping, and I come up with the word tenacity. If you're not tenacious, you're not going to be successful, because there will be challenges and failures, and you've got to be able to stick with it and work around them.
yeah.
And if you lose both your brand new colonies one year, you need to stick with it and try it again next year. It really takes 2 or 3, and maybe you can tell me if you agree with this or not. It really takes at least 2 or 3 years to start to get a handle on the basics and
Definitely.
not make every mistake possible. It was that way for me, and I see it in many others. It takes time to learn this thing and get a handle on it.
Yeah, definitely.
So just hang in there. Don't let it disappoint you the first time you fail.
Yeah. Well, I think that's pretty much it. Thanks for coming down and speaking at the Missouri conference also. I really enjoyed that, and you did a
I
really
enjoyed
good job.
being there too. I met so many people that I didn't
Yeah.
expect to meet so many people that knew of me and that I'd communicated through the comments part of my channel with, and it was really neat to meet all those, put a face with the name.
Yeah.
And me too, yeah.
Well,
So you're going to be at the Hive Life Conference
Yeah,
next
we'll be at
January?
the Hive Life Conference, and I know a lot of people that are actually going
A
to
lot of people know who you are now. So is Cayman going to be able to talk you into talking at the Hive Life Conference?
I don't know. I talked to him a lot about it last night. I don't know if I could do it. It's a lot of pressure.
You're doing it right here.
Yeah.
It's just the only difference is there'll just be 800 people. Just act like those 800 people aren't out there. No problem. Yeah, or you could use my trick, like you remember the trick.
Yeah, the jokes. Yeah.
You tell a joke first, get the crowd warmed up, and warm themselves up. Somehow you got to loosen your. I learned that from Jennifer Barrett. She's the one that said, get through the first 30 seconds, tell a joke, get warmed up, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah, I guess I'll never really learn until I do it. So.
That's right, and I'll tell you something that I read about a year ago. I ran across a self-help, learn how to speak and not be nervous type of YouTube thing. And it said most people think that they're afraid to speak, and that's not true. They're afraid of failure, and that comes down to your ego. So just you got to talk yourself into putting your ego aside. Don't be afraid to fail. You're going to fail so many times in life, and
Yeah.
obviously we can't let failure stop us. So don't be afraid to fail. First of all, trust me, you're not going to look bad. Those people are going to love you. A nice young lady like you getting up and talking to those groups, you'll have them like butter in the palm of your hand. You'll melt their hearts.
I have at the conference. There was definitely a good amount of people that asked me to speak at one of their clubs or something. So I think that'd be a good start. Also starting slow and then eventually building up. Because the Hive Life Conference is definitely a big jump because there's going to be a lot of people there. But
Yeah. Well, I wonder. Ask Cayman about this. Rather than you being on the stage alone, maybe you can be a part of a
the round table is what he's
a round table, or maybe with somebody else like Cayman, or a couple people, where you're just part of a group, if that helps you a little.
Yeah.
But I don't think you need it. I think you could get up there and just talk. And I'll tell you something else, if you can do a little PowerPoint presentation, that can help you too. You can be looking at the screen and not everybody's looking
that's
at
true.
you.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out how to do it. It's in your future. You're a bright up and coming star in this whole thing. I don't think you can avoid it. I think you're going to have to embrace this thing at some point. Wouldn't you agree, Mom?
Absolutely.
All right, well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming. So, anyways, thanks for watching. Follow along for more bee adventures and be here next time on Beekeeping Like a Girl.